everybody. I must apologise. I burped quite loudly before I came on there. Professional to the end, as always. I do apologise for that. Hello, everybody. It's Monday night. It's season 5, episode 23. That's frightening. Of the Plastic Crack podcast. And tonight we're going to be talking about hobby wish lists. It should be interesting. I can imagine people's wallets may suffer after tonight. So I would advise hiding debit, credit cards, wallets, crypto, anything you use. You transact crypto.
And then the other halves, just move them out the room gently.
Yeah. Given what's just happened to the war, like half the wargaming websites and servers, do you think any of them could cope with crypto? No. Do you even know what crypto is?
Oh, God,
no. As always, I'm joined by my comrades, Martin, Seventh Son over there, and Dom, Boots the Table down there. How are we, chaps?
I am a heck of a lot better than I was this time last week. So that's what I'm going to say.
It's always good to hear.
Yeah, gastroenteritis is not something I'd recommend to anybody. So there you go. That was my problem last week. So apologies for not being on. No. But it was probably for the best.
Well, yes. I can well imagine. Martin, how are you, mate?
I'm not too bad, thank you. I'm just tired. I just seem to be perpetually tired. No, I'm good. Nice weekend. Nice week. Can't remember what the hell I did, but I'm sure it was entertaining. It wasn't watching the football. I was driving around while the football was on. Roads were dead. It was great.
Best time to get around, wasn't it? Yeah.
Best time to travel, yeah. But everything's all right, and I'm painting lots and lots of tiny little men, which seems actually what we do anyway. No matter.
I was going to say, that's just a normal week, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah. Just a normal thing. Just different. Yeah. No, I'm all good. I'm all good. You?
How about you, Steve?
I've been enjoying some sunshine. It's been really nice here today.
Whoa, really?
Yes. Oh, it's been cracking the flags all day. It's been lovely. 21 degrees, nice breeze. It's lovely.
Oh my lord, it's been horrible.
I know.
It's cold and wet.
This is an absolute aberration. I've got better weather than you chaps. There's something severely wrong going on here. Someone's using the weather machine somewhere.
Yeah, it doesn't know what it wants to do here. It's just it was blowy, it was raining, then it was really, really hot, and then it was blowy again. Yeah, it's just crap. It's just crap.
Yeah, it's horrible.
No, it's been good weather here since about Friday. I think I've either been blown to a different continent or someone is definitely using a weather machine. Okay, I'm going to go through my stuff now. Don't forget, the Plastic Crack podcast is sponsored by the awesome folks over at Boards and Swords Hobbies. Use the code PCP5 when you're checking out on the web store to get yourself an additional 5% off your already discounted order. And as always, if you need something, to contact Ian, and I'm pretty sure he can sort it for you. All the usual stuff, like, share, subscribe, comment, all the YouTube stuff.
You are such a YouTuber, you.
It gives me chest pains to go.
You shill.
I am. I'm just a shill. So there we go. Right. Let's see who has joined us on this rather nice warm evening here. So we got Ham and Jam. He's working on some offensive and miniatures Russians.
Oh, nice. Yep. I do like the offensive. They're really nice figures.
Hello, Don. He's at work. We've painted some horses for a song of ice and fire. Tell you what, Don, you don't have to get through an eclectic range. He's painting Flames of War one week, and then he's doing Song of Fire and Ice tonight, and Battletech as well. Paul Hatchet, hello Paul, how you doing well, mate? He's working on some Romans, Lionheart, Rogue Trooper, Red Steph. Rich M is mainly basing some Bill and Bow for Wars of the Roses. This damn hay fever lets me. Yeah, I've been suffering the past couple of weeks with hay fever. It's not good. Carl Burks, he's working on Sarissa 28mm Ship of the Line for Blood and Plunder. Dan's here, Dan Justin. He's working on some Wargames Atlantic Le Grognards.
Ooh.
They look really good then. They would definitely fit in with Turn 28. They would make some fantastic line troops for Turn 28. Graham's Wargames Vault. He's He's doing everyone's favorite pursuit, rebasing. 28 mil per. Oh my God, rebasing naps. Jeez.
Graham, what are you doing, mate?
I think I'd rather on a loop. Martha's here. Hello from rainy Isle of Jersey. So it's not very nice in Jersey. Laser Pirate Painting. He's working on AWI stuff for sharp practice. It's wet in Bristol. We're watching it. Alan's watching us on the big telly tonight. Yeah, big telly. David Bender's here. Mobile and Hostile. Andrew JF from a very damp Kent. Richard from a breezy yet bright Hull. Craig Canesi from a mosquito-infested small town in northern Sweden. I think I'm winning this one, actually.
I think you are, definitely.
Yeah.
The world has gone really weird that you're winning.
35 degrees for John in Florida. Be gone with you, be gone. Steve, what are you doing? Lurking around the vineyard? Oh, I know what you meant. I thought you actually meant a vineyard, not the other vineyard, painting rats.
Did you think he had a sort of an easel up and he was sort of painting the rats as they came around the back of the bins?
Vision, I had no idea what he was going on about then. Neil's here. He's painted some US Rangers. You know what? Those US Rangers look like a fantastic kit. But I am being restrained with new World War bolt action projects until later on in the year, until I know what the whole.
Why is that, Steve? What's happening later in the year with bolt action?
I don't know. I've heard rumblings that something might be happening in September.
Never.
Yeah. Mortzerk, hello, Jonas. How are you? Carizette, Edward Eastie's painting. Yeah, Dom, there's one for you. A Tusk Boss on a Moor Grunter.
A Tusk Boss and a Moor Grunter again.
I mean, to be fair, that sounded like me last week, but hey.
That's enough. God, that sounds enchanting, Dom. Thanks for those mental images there, mate. I was I won't be able to sleep tonight. Alex is here. Hello. Alex, are you doing well, mate? Nick Games working on a secret project soon to be revealed. Robin's here, Miniature Odyssey. Ian Wright, Graham's RC Models from is that Wisconsin? WI?
I don't know.
I think it is. I'm going to go.
I want to say yes, but
yes. Okay.
Yes.
Dutch Army Painter, Cardboard Fortress, catching for the first time after a break. Good to see you here, mate. Hope you're doing
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We'll expect the excuse letter and the doctor's notes.
Note from your mum, yeah.
Frank's Miniatures, evening all. Well done, mate. Trevor Hodgkins, he's finishing off some Wars of the Roses Lancastrians.
Yay, boo.
Yay, boo.
Yay, boo.
Nathan here, I hope you're doing well, Nathan. And I see you've been posting lots of your 100 Years War stuff in the Facebook group. Friends of General Haig, hello, Andy. Hope you're doing well, mate. It's persisting down in Worcester. Must be summer. Marky Sparky. Tony Hall, Double Dip, Camberwell Johnny. I'm not going to even read that.
The what?
I don't want my channel to be removed from YouTube.
Nice.
I like this one. Cardboard Fortress has just replied and called Dom Dim.
Right,
Fair enough.
Right, Dim.
Have you been watching A Clockwork Orange? Shig with the Spurs, hello, are you doing well? Eric Lyons from a sweltering USA. Yeah, I've heard it's a bit of a heat wave in certain parts of America. Daniel Moreno, hello Dan, hope you're doing well. Don apparently has nothing else useful to do with his life. Although thanks for the information about what's his face, Stonewall Jackson and his hat. I can't find the Kepi model anywhere. Where is it, Don? I really don't know. Ben Lowry from I think it's going to be I'm going to guess all my American states. I'm guessing that's Tennessee.
I'd say so. Yeah. I go
Dave,
for that
Dave, hello. Hope you're doing well. Are you buying new dice, praying hard to the dice gods, or having tactical gaming lessons on how to win from Haley? Oof, burn.
Right, my dice, if you're talking about last night's game, it went really, really well, and then it didn't. And it's actually just one turn where I go from like I managed to just the hits keep on pouring in. Second or third turn in the game, I'm not going to spoil it just in case people haven't seen it. There's quite a big moment for me, which made me really happy. And then the dice goes like, no, we giveth and we taketh away. No, I don't know what to do. The thing is, I get nervous now if I start rolling well, and it throws me. It really, really throws me. So,
well, couldn't you? So that's the dice that roll well. Can't you put them to one side?
Yeah.
And the dice that roll badly, put them to another side, and just keep using the dice that roll. Or is that changing dice?
That's changing dice, and they'll all be different colours, and it'll be odd. No. But I have different coloured dice for different games.
Oh.
I don't use them in the battle reports. In the battle reports, I just tend to use the ones with the channel logo on. But I have when I'm doing gaming on a channel, I have different dice for different games.
And you say that changing dice is weird, and then you just have a particular. So you play one dice set for a particular. You're playing Hell Caesar, and then another.
Well, I don't use the ones with like the iron cross on it when I'm playing like Hail Caesar, do I? Like, well, you're not going to use World War II dice of a Ancients game, are you?
But you don't play World War II games, so how's
I
that?
do. I just play good ones. Sorry, not good. Fun
well,
ones.
That last game of Bolt action I had, I almost used my PCP dice, and then I had flashbacks to CrackCon and put them away again because I have never rolled dice like that before. Shocking.
I love my PCP dice. Oh, they're great.
Also got FRPs here: Kevin Sturdy, Robin Rose Holden, Carson Lambert. Then we get into the end. History Boy 32. He's painting in the spare bedroom.
Oh dear.
Trajanich. It's a sunny Lake District. He's building 29 blue and grey bolts.
What is going on? It's sunny in the Lake District.
It's sunny up north.
Where you are. What is going on?
There's something. I'm expecting a hurricane or something.
Yeah,
this surely cannot last.
I mean, it was quite comforting to know Wales was wet because that's normal. But that's fantastic. Wow.
So James's PCP deck had been lost under mysterious circumstances. I wish mine had been because I like the colour of them, but they don't roll well. And last but not least, we have Roger from Ontario. Welcome everybody. So like I said before, we're going to be talking about hobby wish lists. Now, this can be, is there a rule book or rule set that's not been invented yet or written that you'd like to see written? Is there a kit that isn't available? From some obscure conflict in 1732, you can't get figures for, or is there a game out there that you think you want to see improved or improved kits, or just in general, what would be just anything you wish for in the hobby? And don't say Scarlett Johansson, topping up your paint water because that's not achievable. Don't try and make sense of Martin's dice fetishes.
I know. Don, I give up.
What my dice fetishes?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to know about those. So I'll tell you about those at CrackCon. But it'll have to be in the bar.
I think we've gone a whole place we don't want to go.
No.
So for 1732, we'd be in the middle of the Ottoman-Persian War.
Right.
There's
got to be some really obscure units there.
The Nader Shah's Mesopotamian campaign. Jesus. The Battle of the Chechen Al was an ambush conducted by Chechen rebels, Russian army, blah, 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 mass slaughter.
Blah, 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 blah.
Tell you what, we're getting straight out of the starting line here. So Daniel wants someone to paint his pile of shame for him. I don't think we're going to top that. Alex is quite easily pleased, though. He wants world peace and a Scotch egg.
Good man.
Speaking of Scotch eggs, completely wargaming related. I like watching food review videos on YouTube, and I saw one guy, and this chap went to a fish and chip shop in Mayfair, and he was charged £10 for a Scotch egg.
Gee whiz! What was in it?
It was haddock.
Haddock in a Scotch egg?
Oh yeah. No! I went to a wedding last year, and it was Scotch eggs, but it was It was crab meat or salmon.
No, that's just all wrong. No,
I didn't know. I didn't know. I hadn't read the menu, and I was like, oh yeah, Scotch egg. I'll have that for my starter. And it came out. I was so I think my face gave it away because Hayley was shooting me looks that. Then my face gave. Also, it was my birthday, and I was at a wedding eating a fishy Scotch egg.
That's just I don't think every level. I
don't think I could eat a fishy Scotch egg. I mean, no.
I didn't realise it was a thing.
Sitting on a rabbit hole very quickly there.
Like a Scotch egg.
Plenty of Scotch egg chat in the chat.
Beat a Scotch egg.
Have you ever had? You ever been to Cambridge and had a Cambridge Blue?
No.
All right. Okay. So it's an egg that's been pickled to the point it's turning like essentially the color of our logo on there. And you fish it out, but it almost comes with a waver.
I love it. That's almost like is it the Norwegian
Surströmming?
Yeah, ferments. Bury it for 6 years or something, and then eat it. Like what the you can't take that stuff on planes apparently. No, I'm not surprised. It's
just fermented herring.
Oh, it's herring. Yes, that's right. Yeah. Gee,
there's questions. What's a Scotch egg?
Well, a proper Scotch egg.
A proper Scotch egg
is a hard-boiled egg. Could be soft-boiled, but with sausage meat wrapped around it, and then breadcrumbs around the outside of that. That is a Scotch egg.
Yeah.
There's no.
None of these little ones. You want one the size of a cricket ball.
Absolutely, you need It's got to be a big one. Yeah, it's got to be a big one. I mean, I'll allow a bit of if you really want to go up market, you can have a bit of wild boar or something, but that's about it. It has to be pork.
What about chutney? What about some chutney? Just some chutney with it.
No, you have that on the side, mate. Come on.
No, obviously not.
No, it's a condiment.
Cook it with it.
Well, you came up with bloody whatever it was, crab meat, in yours. I'm not having that.
I'm not sure I could combine fish with egg, though. That just gives me a really odd taste in my mouth. Anyway, moving away from
the direction I was expecting to go tonight, but there you go.
Yeah. What's my hobby wish list? More Scotch eggs. Yeah.
Scotch eggs. Do you know what? I can actually go for a Scotch egg right now. This
is Alex's fault.
It is.
The other week when I watched that the Ginger Dead Man, the first one, I was just craving donuts and stuff all the way through that film. I was just craving donuts and pastries. Insanity. Right, let's go. Dom, what have you been up to, mate?
Absolutely bugger all, mate. If I'm honest, I have done nothing.
Lots of sitting,
and a bit of reverse sitting, and all sorts of other things. But no, I've done nothing. When I did feel recovered, we went up to Shropshire and had a bit of a holiday, and so all I did was make up some of those nice new Wargames Atlantic nights, which I'm now painting tonight, and that's
I've been building those as well. How
went to a gig?
Yeah. I did go to a gig. What night was it? Saturday nights. My company somebody from my company said, "Oh, do you want some tickets to go to Robbie Williams in Hyde Park?" And I went, "Not really," but Elaine said yes, so we did. So yeah, I did go to a gig.
Well, because according to my wife, those tickets are incredibly hard to come by.
They're also incredibly expensive. When I looked them up.
I'm imagining that's why.
So yeah. I mean, he's not my particular taste in music, but he's a heck of a showman. I'll give him that. He does put on a show, that's for sure. But yes, that was Saturday night. So got back from Shropshire, feeling a bit better, and then went there for the night. So that was fun.
Scotch eggs to Robbie Williams.
There you go, Robbie Williams.
We are a change podcast, aren't we? We really are. Enlightened gentlemen, enlightened. Dom, how have you found that Wargames Atlantic Nights kit?
Do you know, I really enjoyed them. I think they went together beautifully, there's lots of variety in them, and still so much left over as well. So you didn't have to. It wasn't a question. Sometimes you get these kits and it's like you've only got 6 heads and 6 bodies, but there's like I don't know how many heads and bodies there were, but it was fantastic. So no, I really enjoyed them, and even with my cack-handedness, not too many gaps that need filling. So they went together beautifully.
I'm in the middle of painting 5. I'm painting a batch of 5. I've not used one bit of filler at all. They just went together so well. Yeah, brilliant kit. I've never had a bad kit from Wargames Atlantic ever, and any kit I've ever bought from them, is good. I really enjoyed.
I agree. Although I did have a moan about the those weird thingies.
Oh, the core, yeah.
Well, because there were no instructions on which parts went for the different types. That was the only bit. But it was nothing to do with the kits. It was more the fact I didn't know which way around I was putting them. But no, these.
How could you not know the top and the bottom of a core? Come on.
Well, exactly, mate. I know. I can hang my head in shame at that.
Oh, Martin, I wish you'd said that in like David Attenborough's voice. That'd have been so cool. There you go. So, Eric, the Knights extremely crisp, clean figs with a load of absolutely. I bought it on a whim. Because I want to use them for Warlords of Erewhon. And have you seen the kits that are coming out in the future?
Yes, they're in the news.
Oh, right. We'll get to them later then.
Yeah, really good. I'm going to use these for the more of the Bruce's in Ireland projects because I thought I could do with a few more foot knights. So, yeah. Plus, as you say, it was a bit of a on the whim buying them.
Oh, I just saw them available on Amazon. I thought, nope, I'll have me some of those. And they were here the next day, and I really enjoyed painting them. They're just
definitely recommend.
What I like about them as well is that because I'm using mine for fantasy, they could easily be used for fantasy. There's just something good about them. I think, top.
No, I agree. There could be anything you want. And the only thing I looked at, I thought, I know there was some reviews I saw about moaning about the fact they didn't have the right, because they cover a huge period. It's like 200 years or something. And somebody saying, "Oh, if you use them for the late period, they don't really work." No, don't use them for the late period.
Don't use the late period.
Or don't give a toss is the other thing.
I see options here.
Yeah.
So, Martin, have you been up to anything more than Don? Any gigs?
Have I been to any gigs? No, I still haven't been to a gig since 2020, which makes me sad.
No.
What have I been doing? I've been doing a lot of painting of the Punic Epic stuff, but I'm kind of just batch painting it and everything at the minute to try and get things finished off a base. I've got a whole tray here of things waiting. Let's get it. There you go. Waiting to have the basing done on them. So I'm going to have like a whole evening of basing. I've got currently on the paint desk in front of me 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, a lot. Which I'm painting. And then at the same time, because I thought, why not? I'm working up as the paints come out and finishing these slingers. And I've been I didn't have any 15mm scale trees, so I've been basing. I bought one of these crappy things from Amazon.
Oh yeah,
that comes, like this, and then you scrunch them up, bend them about a bit, cover it in spray glue, and then knock leaves all over it, and then base them up, and you get a nice little trees. That are perfectly scaled. So I'm doing mixtures of singles, doubles, and then I had a I can't remember why, but I had 100mm round base that sat there for a long time. So I just made an entire sort of like clump up.
Oh, nice.
For use. And I've had a Greek village arrive today from what are they called? Westwind, Forged in Battle, and do some cool looking 15mm scenery. And the Forged in Battle stuff is essentially exactly the same as the Epic Warlord stuff. There's not much between them, so the buildings look really good. And I figured that they would do well for buildings in sort of Sicily and southern Italy and things like that just as well. So I'm trying to get them all painted by next Tuesday, which is interesting. So yeah, I'm just kind of.
So not much work's going to be done this week then.
I've got it's just evenings, dude. I've got so much work on. So many. It's just reports and cursing at the moment. And the thing is, I have a lot of hatred for the Romans at the minute, so I really want to be the Carthaginians. Of the stuff I'm having to write about at the moment, I just want to burn Rome. Really do. Really do. I don't know if I can convince Robin to be the Romans in our first game, but I really want to make them suffer. I really do. I hate Roman archaeology at the minute. I really do. I really, really do.
Love it. Love it.
But no, apart from that, I keep on wanting. I've stuck together some of these conquest models. The Venus and they're there, and I want to get stuck into them, but I had to put them all away and back in the box because I had to. I was getting distracted. Good man. Good man. You won't regret it. You won't with my dice rolls. You won't regret it. It'll be fine. The Carthaginians are in for a slaughter. So hopefully next week we've got our we've got a fairly big epic game. It's not. It's going to be sort of like this is the smallest amount I suppose you need to make it epic. I don't know if that makes sense. The smallest amount you need to make it epic. That sounds a bit weird. It's the smallest amount that I think that you, in our opinion, my opinion, that you should game with. Otherwise, what was the point in doing it in this scale? You might as well have just done it in 28, if that makes sense.
Fair enough.
I think a normal game will probably be about like double the amount. Martin, surely if you want to make them suffer, you'll play them piss off.
That was cutting.
Shots fired.
Oh dear. You say I'm like in Jonah or something. I'm like that poor bastard
that was the equivalent
to jump off the boat.
That was the equivalent of like a size 14 Doc Martin to the temple.
Wow. I'm hurt.
That escalated quickly.
That was brutal.
Probably fair comment, right, to be honest.
I mean, to be fair, it's completely fair. That is completely fair. I don't quite know where to go from there. Just Steve. I might as well just stop painting them now. I'm sitting there painting Triarii at the minute, and
brutal. Love it.
Well, I had a weird week because last week. No, not that weird. No. So last week on the podcast, we were talking about NAM 68.
We were.
Which is the new 28mm sort of skirmish level game by Warwick Kinraid that's being published by Plastic Soldier Publishing. Mm-hmm. And I recall my Rubicon US Marines. So I started painting those 2 years ago, right? And I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I love the figures, but I didn't like the way I painted them or based them. There's something didn't appeal to me. So I put them away in a box and just forgot about them for years. But when this NAM 68 came out, I started doing a bit of reading about it, and I absolutely love the sound of this game. It sounds fantastic. Essentially, you run an American platoon over like 12 games.
I thought you were say you run. You just run.
You run. I probably will be anyway. It just sounds really good from what I've read, so I'm really looking forward. So I thought, no, it's a good opportunity for me to restart my US Marines. So I dug them out and I ripped them off, I rebased them, I give them a bit of a sharper paint job. And there we go.
They are lovely.
Oh, excellent.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Still one of the best plastic kits I have ever.
They have a real action man look, don't they?
Yeah.
They do. And you give them stubble.
I've given them stubble. Do you know, since you told me about that, I'm using that on everything.
It just goes, doesn't it?
It just works so well. But yeah, so I've been working on those. I've got 2 more to paint, and I've got 3 more to sort of tart up. But I've got a newfound sort of love for painting these again. I mean, like I said, it's a brilliant box. And what I like about them is the scale they're just realistic scale. They all properly proportioned. There's so many options on that sprue, and they are just lovely figures. So that's what I've been doing, and actually I've got 5 more to do. I want to use the whole box to make sort of 30, so 3 squads of 10. Then I'm going to buy another box and do a few more bits and pieces, because I've not kit bashed any of these because they're so nice looking. I daren't cut into them. I just don't want to.
You probably do quite well with this coming out if you did a comparison between these and the Gringo 40 stuff and see how well they go together. Because the Gringo 40, I know they're metals and you're not the biggest fan, but they have some fantastic poses in kits, and I think a lot of people would probably like to see how they mix. I've seen it. I might for support options because I know Rubicon do a handful of support options.
but I was looking at the Gringo miniatures for various bits and pieces. But no, it would be good to see a comparison. But that's what I've been up to. And I've obviously working on these War Games Atlantic Knights. Again, absolutely brilliant kit that I've really looked forward to. I've just fortunate son in my head now. Yeah. Has to be done. No, it has to be done. Yeah, not kit bashing, definitely not the real estate. No, there's just something about them. I mean, I think if I got a second box, I might do. What I don't want to start doing is just hacking them up for the sake of sticking. I mean, I think they'd work really well kit bashing. I think you do a couple of nice swaps, you get some really nice unique looking figures there. But that's my plan. So on the desk I've got these foot knights. I've got my USMC. I didn't make any more progress on Stonewall Jackson. I'm done on painting the one with a hat. That's the only one I've got. So you might just
the Empress Nam apparently size up well with Rubicon. There you go.
Oh, I forgot about Empress. Yes, Steve, you're in a good place. Do a comparison between all the different stuff. That I think that would be really interesting, especially with this on the horizon.
I can't wait for it to come out. Really interested.
So what sort of is it? Platoon scale? Is that?
So the game is you the American player has a platoon, and you run the game over 12 games, which represents their tour. But from what I've seen it's been play tested now for 4 years. You started play testing it during lockdown. But there's I've been reading some of the battle reports, and sometimes you just take one squad, sometimes you take two. It's and the American player doesn't know what they're going up against.
What's in it for the Viet Cong players? Does he develop as well? Because there's no. No,
I think
is he more like a games mastering?
Yeah, it's mainly. I think it's mainly seen from the US perspective. I could be wrong. But that's what I've seen from the play testing. And it's like patrols or sweeping villages, clearing villages. I don't know. It's just something that's really gripped me, and I can't wait for it to come out. And I'm still waiting for my those 20mm AB Germans that I ordered last week. They should be arriving soon, and I want to start painting some 20mm. So yeah, lots of bits and pieces. I don't want to talk about Scotch eggs again. Scotch eggs are riveting chat, Dan. Riveting.
We'll bring for Don. We've got to bring him a Scotch egg then to the Tudor Bar.
It looks like it.
Can we all bring a Scotch egg from where we live? Like not a Tesco Scotch egg. Go to the local butcher, bring a Scotch egg, and then we can have the Americans decide which is the best Scotch egg.
Oh my goodness!
Although because they're not on our table, so it'll be fine. The next day, it'll just be the poor bastards that are with us.
You're an evil bugger, you are.
No one bring any fishy ones though.
No, they will be banned.
Oh, and then the curry.
Oh
my god! Egg and cloth will be in close proximity. God, that went dark very quickly, didn't it? Scotch egg chat. Right, so do you want to go before we get into the wish list? Do you want to run through the rest of the OPC?
Yes, why not? I've just finished painting 40 of 100 helmets. So hang on a second. Right. So those of you who are awesome enough to tune in last week, we were, of course, going through the OPC from, what month is it now? So June. And it was an army centerpiece. And there were 29 entries. But with the topic as well, we didn't get through anything. So we promised that we would go through the last of them here, which we are going to do right now. So remember, the OPC, the Online Painting Challenge, is essentially put together by Warren, Paul, and Tony. And they basically pick a theme. And this year it was a yearly theme. And each month is a different aspect of your army to paint up. There's no prize, but it's just a nice community building towards something at the end of the year. So hopefully this is going to pick up exactly where we left off. So first up, my screen just went blank then, so that's not great, is it? First up for the OPC, we have Nick, who has got some big guns. Does that come up on the screen? Because my screen's completely frozen.
Yeah, big guns.
Right, my screen's completely frozen. Okay, and I can't read anything, so I can't go through it. My screen is completely frozen. The OPC has broken my computer.
I can move on to Paul Franklin's Roman cavalry.
Ooh,
Roman, no, it's not cavalry, is it? It's,
Caro Ballista.
It's cut off at the end. So there we go. Yes, that's lovely. I like that.
That is nice. I like that.
And then next one, I think, is Pat's.
I'm going to have to refresh. I will be back in a second. Hang on.
So that's Pat's French Army support.
Oh, that's nice. That. What
like
scale is that?
I don't honestly know. I don't know.
I got no.
I like
idea.
it though.
I like it, Pat. What if you in the chat, mate? What scale is that?
I don't really know. That's interesting. They look great. They look really good, and actually really good for scenarios as well.
I love stuff like that. I've not got much of that for my armies. No, like sort of the auxiliary stuff. No, the wagon, wagons or baggage trains. I've not got enough of that.
No, I agree. It's 28mm apparently. There we go. So Andy says, now I love this one. I saw this one when it went up on Facebook. This is Richard's.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the picture looks a little blurred, but that is absolutely awesome. So that's Asenath versions, I think, being pulled off his horse. I think that's just brilliant. The colourfulness. There's something about, I think, because when I started hogging all the books, wargaming books from the library, there was always big battle reports of Asenath Persians, and they were so damn colourful. I mean, they were an absolutely terrible army in most of the rule sets we played in those days, but they were great fun to look at.
They look cool. Can you hear me? I'm back.
He's back.
You're back.
We've been filling like crazy for you. Now, Paul. I mean, Paul McCarthy.
Madness, absolutely.
I mean, they're not that good, are they?
I mean, he hasn't done the eyeballs this time, so what's going on?
I mean, personally, I think he's just been a bit lazy. It's no point. How can you do checkers on something?
I mean, that is just ridiculous.
They are lovely. I like it like they're having a chat. I like how he's positioned them like they're having a chat. I think that's brilliant. And I didn't notice until he painted it, all the detail on the standard.
No, that's the scary thing. I mean, for those little tiny figures, and you think they're pretty good, and then you see how he's painted. You think, Jesus, I missed half of what was in that figure. Wow, amazing. Lovely little one for you, Martin. I know you'll be pleased to see this fella.
Yes, there he is.
Samuels. I mean, that's the centerpiece right there. Centerpiece right there. I think that's the War Games Atlantic figure. I think.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Very nice, Samuel. Very good indeed. Steve. I mean, what the?
I was going to say something very crass about you last week and that pit, and like, but I'm not going to. But that is what skin. I mean, I know it's. I mean, I genuinely, that looks like something that's like come out of a clinic, but
it's just
the skin tones on it are amazing.
Just every time you look at it, there's so much detail. There's something new to find every time you look at it. Is that an actual GW model, or is it?
Yeah, it is. It's one of the new big beastie.
Yeah, no, the Skaven have had an overhaul, haven't they? Like a whole new aesthetic look. They look a bit more evil.
I mean, I look at that and I just think of John Carpenter. I just think of the thing.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
It's
just
awesome.
Fantastic. Lovely. Brilliant.
Love this from Sir G.
Oh, yes.
Burgundian commander. I mean,
his Burgundian work is absolutely phenomenal. Just lovely stuff. But that is, really, really nice.
Beautiful figures. Another weird one incoming. This is Stephen.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, I really like that. That's clever.
You know what? I don't know what it is.
It's a Age of Sigmar model with their
the Incarnate and the Gelid. That's what it apparently is. I don't know.
Ah, right. No, it's fantastic though. It's really good.
I mean, for a static model, it looks like it's got movement and dynamism, isn't it? Yeah, very clever. Tony has been following your lead by the look of it, Martin. He's been doing a building.
Yep. You just can't get enough of them, can you? Buildings. Yeah. You just can never have enough.
God, it's like being in Chester. Loads of builds like that.
And then I think this is the last one. This is Warren's own effort. This is Pope Belarius.
Ooh.
Of course it is. Of course it is. That's exactly that is what I think of when I think of the Pope.
I mean, I saw it was called that, and I was expecting something Renaissance medieval, and then I get that. I think, okay.
It's Warren. Why on earth would you think?
I know.
That is awesome. That is very, very cool.
Practical rock as well, which gets bonus points. Rock. Yeah. Very
It's a bit of an upgrade on the old Pope mobile, though, isn't it? Go more for the offensive than the defensive this time.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Big massive thank you to everyone that takes part in the OPC. I failed without even entering. I just knew. I
failed in February.
I just knew. Dom, aren't you ahead of the game?
I have actually. I have done the next 2 months already, but I didn't actually do this month, bizarrely, because I just couldn't think of anything centerpiece for my army. So I didn't do this one. But I might have a couple in store.
Because I thought you'd planned ahead, and so you were ahead of the curve.
Well, when I'm on a flow with painting something, I just crack on through. I don't want to wait a month. God damn, 2 months or 3 months. So yeah.
I think we found Don's weakness anyway. Yeah, he won't eat haggis or black pudding at gunpoint.
Oh, haggis is gorgeous. Black pudding's gorgeous too.
Haggis black. Yeah,
I can black pudding. I'm not a fan of haggis.
Oh, haggis is lovely.
Oh yeah.
Haggis with neeps and tatties. Ooh.
That's a
lovely stuff.
Welcome to cooking with the PCP.
Yes, I love black pudding though. So that's one of my weaknesses. Right, on to tonight's main chat, hobby wish list. Now, this came from you won't ever guess where this came from. It is Bolt Action 3, because when it was being sort of teased in sort of across social media and in the Facebook groups and all that malarkey, there was a whole lot of wish listing going on.
Mm-hmm.
From I wish the cover art was better to the improvements to the game, but it got me thinking about our own wish lists. And is there anything that we, rules wise, figures wise, hobby wise, paints or a range of paints that you think it's not available now, or God damn it, why is it not available? I want it now.
I want it now. Give it to me. Interesting. I mean, I'll start with one I've talked about regularly, and so I'll talk about it again. But for me, the rule set, I would love to have a really, really entertaining but relatively authentic set of ancient rules. From big battles, which is, I know Hail Caesar's very good for a lot of this stuff, but I just would like to, I still have a hankering after being able to get out my Macedonian 28 mils and fight out a big old game.
And I'm going to say what I say every single time. Impetus. Play Impetus. There's like a huge, that's great system for that. Or I thought you went and bought that Mortimer Glorium. I thought that's been.
Oh no, I sold that afterwards. I read it. It was far too complicated for a little brain like me. And
did you, Dom? Did you actually play that?
No, I didn't actually get around to it. I watched a few videos. I bought it during lockdown. Somebody was I think it was Plastic Soldier Company or somebody was selling it pretty cheap as a box set, and I thought, I'll have a go, see what it looks like. Looked at a few battle reports, read the rules, and went, yeah, not sure it's me. And then sold it for actually more than I paid for it. So that was a result.
So yeah, we got the
result.
Impetus for the win. Impetus is a great set of rules. Impetus.
All right.
General consensus here. So, Dom, with that, what do you think of all of the ancient rule sets you're playing now? What would you say is the closest to what you're looking for?
I mean, I think that's part of the problem, Steve. I think I've kind of moved on. So I used to play back in the day a lot of WRG, which I would not recommend as a decent rule set at all.
Sorry, can I put this on? I'm sorry. Can he win? I'm agreeing. Play advanced impetus version, not the hand job basic impetus.
Love it.
Oh, dear me.
I will remember not to do the hand job.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh dear! Can we put parent thingies on this channel?
I think we're long.
We're well past that, are we? Okay. Yeah. So I mean, back in the day, I used to play a lot of 6th and 7th edition WRG, and I wouldn't recommend it because for ancients, but it was kind of fun at the time. And then we moved on to various rule systems, but sort of spent a lot of time with Warhammer Ancient Battles. And really, I should go back and play that again. But what worries me, I don't know about whether you guys are like this, but when you've had a rule set you really love playing and you really enjoyed, you have a lot of memories of playing it, and then you don't play it again for years and years and years. The thought of going back to it and it not being that it just being a load of pants, and you forget, you sort of lose all that love that you had for it back in the day, and it sort of worries me about having a go at it again.
That's exactly what I'm like with Rogue Trader 40k, first edition 40k. So I played that 30 years ago and I loved it. We played loads of it and I played loads of games and I thought it was brilliant. Every time I read the rules now, I think, it's full of character. It really is full of character, but it's a strange system. And I don't think I could go back and play it. I mean, 2nd edition, I don't think would be so bad because that was quite a user-friendly, sort of refined edition of 40k. Rogue Trader was like, I don't know. It was just all over the place. I'm very strange, very, very strange. But I know what you mean. You
it's
don't
odd, isn't it? Those memories you have of a game, and the number of games we had, and really enjoyed playing it. It was fantastic fun. I mean, it had some stupid things in it, like all rule sets really do. But I don't know, just that. I've moved on in my life from that. So no, I love Hail Caesar, and I don't know why it just doesn't kind of do it for me. But for some reason, it doesn't quite do it for me. So
for ancients, do you mean, or just generally?
Yeah, for ancients. I know I love it for the medieval stuff. I think it works really well for that. But I think for proper ancients, sandals in the desert, that kind of stuff. I think it just don't I don't know. It just doesn't seem to be quite right for me. I will try Impetus. There you go. I will go back and have a go at that. But I'm excited because Dave Brown, when he was on, was talking about doing his own rule set at some point. And that was exciting me. So I don't know.
Well, Impetus does seem to be there was quite a clamoring for Impetus in the chat there. Alex, I absolutely agree with Alex here that Rogue Trader was more of an RPG. We used to play it as an RPG. We used to run it as we used to have inquisitorial war bands, sort of 10, 15 figures aside, and it was really good. I think if I was going to use it again today, I think I'd run it as a role playing game. I think it would work quite well. Martin, what about you? Any rules that are not out there that you think should be?
That I think should be. I mean, I suppose the problem is the warfare that I mean, if you say like the Wars of the Roses and late medieval, it's really hard to mimic that type of warfare in a game. I think it would be really dull because it would just be two big armies smashing into each other until one gives way, and you'd have to pick the 3 battle options. So I think rules wise, I think I would really like a fantasy game, I mean mass battle. I don't mean the Warhammer version of mass battle. I mean the way that we played mass battles. Whether that, I'd like that. I'd like a fantasy system which can deal with massive armies, not just. And I suppose the thing is because in fantasy games and sci-fi games, not all of them, before I get shouted at, But some of them they deal with the individual, where every model in the unit matters. Whereas I obviously this is what Robin said, because I started mucking around and with a front cover of something called Hail Sauron. So I had so I was thinking we could just do a Lord of the Rings one, which would be a laugh. But I just really would like because you see War Master was obviously the basis of Black Powder and those games. But I feel like you could take it even further, and and I mean, someone did say, wouldn't it be cool if Warlord actually did a fantasy plastic range in their small scale? That'd be cool. I just
could see that happening.
I could, there are some good rules, but I just would like a big comprehensive set. Maybe no setting, maybe just like what do you call it? Just a minute, system agnostic. Here's some rules. I mean, or maybe I should just have a go. Obviously, I've got, I just don't have the time. But I think that's what I'm after. I mean, I really like my fantasy, but the thing is about fantasy, it focuses on heroes, and you've got to worry about the heroes being too overpowered. But all fantasy, or most fantasy novels, be they like Conan or Wheel of Time or Lord of the Rings, they do have massive set piece battles with thousands, hundreds of thousands of troops. And if you think back to the old Warhammer artwork, if you think about the front covers, if you go and watch Matt's recent video on Tabletop Saga, they were talking about the favorite recent Warhammer. There's always these massive battles going around, not just 5 units that are wandering around the battle. And obviously, I think that would be fun. But
I'd love a Conan mass battle game, wouldn't it?
Awesome. I had a Conan strategy game, which you needed a PhD to understand the rules. So that was pretty cool. And there's the Monolith Conan game. I think there was a Conan mass battle game. I think one did come out, actually. I'm sure.
I found a rule set once online, very cheap to play it.
Yeah.
But there's no real figures. So
there was one that definitely got released with figures. I think Monolith did it, but I'm sure
really?
Lazy Pirate Mates just play Kings of War. I mean bigger than Kings of War. Bigger. No, bigger.
You're thinking too small, Pirate. Come on.
Too small with your 18 armies or whatever we're up to now. I guess that's what I'd like. I mean, I feel, but then also you like to have the heroes, but you want to have your Sauron walking through like hordes of guys. I mean, I guess that's what I'd like. I've read a lot of the background for this Conquest game, and I really like it. Dom, I nearly sent you because I was like, I wonder if this could tip him, because the new starter set is the Greeks versus the not the Seljuks, not the Indians, So you've got the city states, so you got those guys plus like a Minotaur because Minotaur's cool against all of these like cool looking sort of mounted warriors plus a genie, I just think. I mean, did you know as well? Sorry, there's a new Conan novel is coming out, or might already be out, which is based on it's one of the pastiche novels, so it's just based off of Robert E. Howard's work, but it was actually a sequel to one that was written back in the late 80s. And I started reading it, and it's really, really good. So if people like their Conan, which I do, it's called City of the Dead. You can buy it on Amazon, and you get like both novels in a big hardback book. It's one of the few ones that is actually like reading Robert E. Howard, which is pretty cool. But yeah. Well, it's like reading Robert E. Howard if he was writing now about some of the more troublesome parts. Conan the Librarian, yeah.
I take the other one that occurred to me when you talk about this was a really good, interesting, and relatively easy to play campaign system that you could overlay on multiple periods would be a great thing. Because I miss doing campaigns, and I think the trouble is they tend to be the best ones we've ever played, or I've ever played, have been really labor intensive. So you've had to have a GM who's had to manage the whole process. And then when inevitably one player is not doing very well, gets bored, it's all been for nothing. I just think having something that was really simple to use, maybe there's a computer program that would manage it all for you. I don't know, but you could get the complexity of it and then play out games. I think just that would be awesome.
Maybe someone should pull their thumb out their arse and finish the thing they were writing and publish it.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. No, there's that book I've got, the wargame, the Henry Hyde book.
Yeah. I was thinking of that. Yeah.
Which is comprehensive to say the least. There's one up on Kickstarter at the moment. I'll have to check the details of it, but it's from the guys who are doing what's it called? Trial of the, which is the Renaissance Skirmish game.
There's a guy who got a channel who made a very acceptable system. Oh, if you find it, send me the link. I'd be interested. I'd love to do that.
It's not about me, you dickhead.
Martin.
No, I want to see it. Come on, where is it?
Where is it? Well, I'm saying everyone who emails, which is like, here it is. You just have to
write
the big draft and replace all the bits that say Lancastrian bad.
We are not going to see it. No, it's never going to see the light of day, that one.
You will see the light of day.
Yeah,
it will see the light of day. It will. It will. I promise. Would I lie to you?
Mm-hmm.
I think if I had to choose one, I think I've mentioned this in the past. I don't know whether there's probably something out there, but for me, it's got to just be the way I want it. And it's like a near future cyberpunk-esque skirmish. The closest is probably Infinity, but I don't want to play Infinity. I know in my head how I want it to look, but I don't know. Is there any recommendations about what I could possibly be talking about? Because I know there's loads of games out there.
I suppose first of all you have to tell us why you don't want to play Infinity, so then people don't say just play Infinity.
I've seen the battle reports and it just doesn't grip me. I don't know. I love the miniatures. I love the miniatures. I just think it's a bit too far from what I am sort of. But last week we were talking about Spectre Ops.
Yeah.
Now imagine that was sort of 10, 15 years in the future. So there's no. It's still like hard-fi, but with an element of sort of that cyberpunk feel to it.
Yeah, see, I enjoy Infinity. I haven't played it for ages now, but I really enjoy it. The rule book is intimidating to say the least, but when you realise that 80% of it isn't relevant, to what you're doing, because there's so many skills. It's probably got the biggest set of skills for any game that I've seen, and therefore it's not relevant unless your people have said skills. But then also that's part of its downside. But I think they slimmed it down. Isn't that what Bicker might be able to help me out in here? Don, isn't that what Code 1 is for Infinity? Isn't that like their version of Kill Team? Also, have I got that completely wrong? I think my impression was that Infinity Code 1 was their sort of slimmed down, more simplified version of Infinity. Right. But I might just be talking shit. So
I mean, this had crossed my mind. So yeah, Space would have been a good system easily. I can see, having played Space Widows and absolutely loving the game mechanics, there's certainly loads and loads of scope there to add your own fluff. Add your own rule, homebrew rules to it, I think, and it'll be a good starting point. It's weird. It's a game I've always wanted to sort of play, but I've never found the right aesthetic for it. I've never found the sort of, I don't know, because I want it played 3x3, multi-leveled, small units. But that for me is what I would love to. I'd love to find. Because I may just end up using Space Widows. I think that might be the way forward. Yeah. So Don said it's like a more basic set of rules. Code 1's like how they get new players in. Oh, right.
Well, but it'd be nothing to stop you just carrying on at that that level, then maybe I should
No.
have a look at it, because I don't have enough to paint already.
Yes, I've never heard of that. I mean, I know about Force on Force. I've seen that play. It looks like quite a good game, but yeah, I think this harks back to. Yeah, I'm gonna have a look for that, Rob. That sounds. I know Robin's just said it's got a Shadowrun feel to it, which is a really good game. I've not played that for years and years. I used to play it on my old Xbox 360 back in the day. Shadowrun.
I tell you, did you used to play Syndicate Wars? Do you remember Syndicate Wars?
Oh God, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
PC.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I had it on the PlayStation, which the original PlayStation, which was impossible to control. Do you remember it? I thought Syndicate Wars would be straight up your street. Steve, look it up after the street. Syndicate.
No,
Wars. It's an amazing game and impossible.
Like I say, I think this goes back to, and I think I've mentioned playing this in the past. In sort of would have been early 2000s, I think, or late 90s. We started playing a role play game. I think it was called Millennium's End, and that was set sort of near future. And like I say, it was a proper role playing game, but you played like a mercenary unit. It was very sort of industrial. Mm-hmm. Big companies, black ops, that kind of thing. And it was very, very, from what I remember, very, very involved. But I did like the setting. So it was it reminded me of the background to Netrunner. Very, very cyberpunk, very, big corp, big industrial corporations. So I think that's always stuck with me, and like I said, I'd love to play a game sort of like that. But again, I made some using Space Weirdos. I mean, Alex recommended Zona Alpha as well. I've actually got Zona Alpha. I built some figures for it and never got around to playing it. So that might and again, I love the concept behind Zona Alpha as well. You go into the zone and for scrap and all bits of technology.
Have you? So I was looking at the because I'm a big fan of the role-playing game. I was looking at the Mutant Year Zero. They've got like their own miniatures game now, and they've got two different starter sets. One which is the mutants against the animal mutants. So imagine burrows and badgers, but post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
So you've got like a turtle armed with like a hatchet and using a dustbin lid as a shield, and the other set is robots versus I think it's like the survive, like just the remnants of humanity. But they've got two starter sets out. That and the role playing game, the setting is brilliant. Free League make it, and their stuff's pretty good, and it's got some good reviews.
Here's some insanity from Steve. If money was no issue, I'd have to play Mass Battle Burrows and Badgers.
Love it. That would, it would look amazing, wouldn't it?
It would. Mercs is a personal favourite for near future. Again, I'm going to check all these out because
I had Mercs, but it's not been published anymore, is it? I think it didn't. It, no one picked it up. Mercs was great. It had this really cool near future mega corporations fighting each other. My mate had I think they were like Texans, I had, which are essentially the Brazilians, but were all like a bit like ninja like, and it was a really interesting mechanic because the stat card was also the movement card, so it had little semicircles on each side of the card, which is where you'd move the bases to. So you start at the back and then you'd move to the semicircle, and the range was done in cards. So your stat card was also how you'd measure range and things like that. And it was a really, really nice little system. We had some brilliant games of that. But then, as far as I'm aware, the company went bust. They made Myth as well. I had Myth.
Oh, right.
The board game. And I think they went bust because I couldn't, trying to get hold of the stuff was always really hard. It was hard anyway. But as far as we're aware, I think they're gone.
Right.
But it's worth looking at, definitely.
No, I might have a look at that. Sadly unsupported. You can still use the old rules, of course. Pretty self-contained. Tried Dead Zone. I picked up some Dead Zone miniatures years ago because the guy I used to work with was into it. again, it's one of those things. I know it's been re-released, Dead Zone, hasn't it? I know they've done a new starter box for that. But again, it looked really, really nice. So from the battle reports I watched, I like the way that it played. Maybe I'll find it one day. It's just like, unless I have to write it myself, like say using Space Weirdos as a basis. I don't know.
It's weird, isn't it? We all have this perfect idea of what rules will be like, or what we want. And unless you're really clever and write your own ones, it's very difficult to actually get it just bang on. But then it's finding degrees of acceptability in the compromises, isn't it?
And Dom, you were so close to it with SPQR as well. Oh,
I was. God, that was
so close.
So close. Only need a little tweaking there, and that would have been a brilliant rule set.
Okay, before we go on to sort of other bits, have we got any news?
Yeah,
we got loads of news.
I think we'll have a bit of news.
Okay.
Right, prepare for music.
Sorry, very excited there.
No.
I'm drinking beer and feeling all right. Shall I start?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm colouring in spears with these AK pens, which makes life really easy. So please go ahead.
First up, Warbases showed off some new buildings that they've got which they're specifically saying for the English Civil War, but I think they could be used for a lot of different periods.
Oh yes,
very, very easily, and probably fantasy as well. So there's the barn.
That one's very fantasy. That could
Clifton
be
House. Yes,
that's very old world looking.
Cool.
That
it is very much so, isn't it? Really cool. And knowing what their buildings are pretty simple to put together, even for cack-handed fools like me. They actually go together really well. So that's another one. And then this one I quite like as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Ledbury Marketplace. I like that.
That is nice. I like that. That'd be a really nice
They are
centerpiece.
nice, yeah.
It would be awesome as a centerpiece, wouldn't it? Really, really cool. So that was they've been doing some good stuff. Warbases, good on you, Glenn, and the chaps. Very nice. Also, I think this was getting a lot of people moist on the internet for different reasons. Cromarty Forge 15mm Romans is a 3D range that they've got.
You have to. When you order them, you kind of go through, what kind of helmets you want them in, what kind of shields, if you want those weird hexagonal ones or the curved ones, and
really nice. Nice set, 3D prints, as you say, lots of different variations in terms of the helmets you want, but I particularly like this Studo. That is fantastic. Really, really good.
Cool.
So impressed with those. They're available through Plastic Soldier Company, aren't they? I think that's what
they print. I think they take the orders and print and dispatch.
Yeah. Also, I love these. I'm talking about the fantasy stuff, and also can fit quite nicely in the historical.
17V. Yeah.
So the only thing that made me go cold down the back of my neck was the fact these are multi-part metals.
What?
Multi-part metals. So you can swap around. So the same figures. There you go. Yeah.
Steve's gone into a state of shock.
Yeah. So
I'm not.
But they are great looking figures.
No, they look really nice.
Yeah. So
I'm just not sold on multi-part metal kits.
No. I'm not my favorite, I have to say. Talking about things that are my favorite, I do like North Star figures. I mentioned it many times, and they've just showed off some new AWI German infantry for muskets and tomahawks, or cool practice, or whatever you want to play with them. But they're rather nice. I do like their figures. They just paint up really well.
They do, don't they? They've got a lot of character.
Mm-hmm. Nice and chunky. Other one, so did you talk about, I know we talked about third edition bolt action, but did you talk about the new starter kit?
No, because it wasn't revealed last week.
So Battle of the Bulge is their new starter, which I I don't know about you, Steve. Looks interesting, doesn't it, mate?
I like those new plastics. I will admit, I think they're going to look rather nice, especially the US infantry. I know people have been clamoring for years for. I know that War will do a metal range of US infantry in winter gear, so specifically set around Battle of Bulge, the Ardennes, Bastogne, etc. But having had a look at the sprue, all I could see was infinite kit bashing possibilities with other kits. And even the Winter Fallschirmjäger, I thought they were. I was not expecting Winter Fallschirmjäger. I really wasn't. But again, should be interesting to see where they take the range. Are they going to release some new support options for them? Are we going to have to resort to our own kit bash? I mean, I'd kit bash support teams anyway.
I think kits. Offensive, I think, do some really nice Fallschirmjäger metal figures for the support stuff, so you could always put them in.
But I think that's going to be a great. I like that, like the Band of Brothers box. I think that's going to be a great way of. And in the grand scheme of things, that price is really good. I think for all that, for such a relatively decent price.
It's a battle in a box that you can share with your mate, isn't it, and have a game pretty quickly. Yeah, I think. That's
So that, like with Band of Brothers, the box set, that's going, and Gentleman's War again, just a really, really simple way of getting people into bolt action. I'm looking forward to it, and I saw that people were when the pictures were being sort of shown on Facebook, people in the bolt action group were going all CSI. And they were blowing these pictures up and looking at the what's been released, because it looks like they've changed the rules for medium and heavy machine guns, greater range, more dice. So that should be interesting. That's something I've been clamoring for years. Is make them a bit better. But no, I am genuinely interested. Yes, the new British truck as well.
Yeah, I didn't get a picture of that, but it does look nice. Bedford, although it was quite pricey, I think, wasn't it?
I know, but. Again, completely from left field. I did not expect that at all. I might pick up a couple of those for my 11th Armored Division project. So
really cool.
Martin, you look at
he looks as interested as I am when we talk the fantasy stuff.
I don't care.
All right, let's move on. So the other one, a bit more of a sort of slightly sadder news, because yet another company seems to have bitten the dust. So did you see this Iron Duke?
Yes,
decided that they're going to call it a day, which is a real shame, because they're very niche in terms of what they provided to those particular colonial wars. But some beautiful figures done by Mr. Hicks, the Rocket Man. Really, really nice. So,
did you hear what Steve challenged him to do last week?
No, I didn't. What did you do?
He challenged him to make a 15mm version of Rocket and send it to me. See what will happen. And all you'll see is like an aneurysm live. That's all you're going to see.
Be brilliant to see.
But he didn't say no, though. He didn't say no.
No, he said on it, which scared me a bit.
I mean, the good news with this is that the existing range is all being taken on by Empress. So, there you go. So it won't die entirely, but it means that there won't be anything new unless they decide to commission Mr. Hicks to do more, which is a bit of a shame. But such is the way of the world. Things are just too expensive for a lot of companies to run. And then finally, again, something I know got the, I was going to say got the internet melting down, but that's a lie because they're such a niche. But we've got a lot of people very interested, myself included.
Oh, I know what this will be. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
This is 100 mil. 100 mil? 100 mil, 10 mil, 100-year war figures from our friends at War Games Atlantic, isn't it? Which is, wow, which is following on from the samurais that I know you talked about last week.
Yeah.
But
it's quite a way. It's quite a way off.
It's a long way off
at the moment. So,
but I wonder whether that's a bit of preemptive swoop before Warlords head this direction. Do you think? Because I wouldn't mind betting that on their plans they were thinking about doing an Agincourt or something like that for Epic. I wonder if this is going to preempt them. But
anyway. I kind of feel about it. See, I found myself, I was thinking about this the other day. when I saw everybody commenting on it, and I think it's really cool. But you remember how Napoleonic people moaned like hell about it being Waterloo again? I found myself in my head going, "Not Agincourt, please pick a different one." Like Agincourt's really, but it's the set piece. It's if not one of the most famous battles in 100, in medieval warfare, probably the most famous. So you're going to go with it. I mean, I would probably collect it and not do Agincourt.
No, but you could very easily do some of the other battles. It doesn't matter.
But again, it's good because with the samurai, they picked a. I would be very interested to see how they're going to do. I want to see the crossbowmen. I want to see the French. I want to see how they're doing the Genoese. I really want to see those. I think they will look quite cool. And obviously the mounted knights will be very nice to see. Martin in it.
Can we yellow card Dom?
I don't know. It's just. I thought, Gettysburg. That's the only one I've been. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the only one.
Oh, ACW, AWI is all the same.
Yeah. That's what I had. Move on, quick.
I would be interested to see where they're going with the medieval stuff. If they go, I don't know if they go to the Wars of the Roses. If they've done the 100 Years' War, it seems a bit silly to then go as close and get in time again. I was maybe they'll do if they did the Zulu stuff. I'd be really interested in that. That'd be very cool. What did I have? So Warlord announced their miniature of the month. Now I got really excited about this, and I saw this miniature. And I was like, Jesus, look at the sculpting on that. How the fuck have they done that? And that's at 13.5. And then I realized they've made a model for a range that they don't make.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lovely model. And if I was still doing my 28mm Carthaginians, I would use that model for my Hannibal. Obviously, they've just made it to celebrate Hannibal, I guess. But there was an absolute air of disappointment in me because when it came through on the preview, I was like, "Oh, that's a little Diddy. That looks right." And I looked at it, I was like, "Hang on a minute, hang on." So that's available as a Soldier of Fortune. I'd like to pick that up. I can see people who are doing the Punic Wars in 28 buying that. It's a very, very nice sculpture. I think that, in my opinion, that's the nicest of their Soldier of Fortune models that they've done. So
I would agree.
I think it's very nice. I think that they let us down by not doing it, so it could be used with the pissing product that they've just released. Just shrink it, just reduce it, just put it there. Anyway, next up, now I follow Warp Miniatures. Do you remember they were the guys with the nose, right? And I saw this month's offerings, and I just thought of Steve and the weird people in this group. See if you can guess why. This is his take on definitely not Plague Bearers. Okay, definitely nothing to do with Nurgle. Guess what I saw on here that made me think of our Steve?
It's a snail.
Look at the snails. Oh my word!
I love them. And look, if you look at the leader, the Demons of Rot,
are they severed feet?
I think it's like the what's it called? I think it's like luggage from Discworld.
Luggage from Discworld.
It's like luggage. It's just loads of little feet carrying him along.
Brilliant.
Oh my word!
But I like it because I always like the Plague Bearers when they're being a bit like all the followers of Nurgle are all a bit happy and jovial. But yeah, so, but yeah, I like the snail in the top left, the one who's just who's like, so yeah, Steve, I mean, like, it's only £7. Only £7 for all that, and you could, so anyway, yeah, that's the
they are absolutely fantastic. They're so good.
I know. I like putting them up because I really like his I just like his sort of whimsical style. I meant to buy his version of the Fellowship of the Ring.
I did like that. I did like that.
because I thought it was amazing. Put a Perry-mounted knight on those snails. Yes, yeah, you should do. So now next up is the other announcements from Wargames Atlantic. So now these ones have got me excited, which is a peasant. Oh no, wait, there we go. A peasant levy.
Yes.
At last,
really
at
nice.
last, a plastic peasant levy, which is usable beyond the Baron's War.
Yeah.
I mean, these. I mean, we've got
peasants are peasants are peasants. Aren't
well,
they, really?
Gripping Beast cover the Dark Age Warrior set covers you from essentially like 400 AD up to like 1066 basically. These guys would cover you well into the 15th century. You know, they've got billhooks.
Is it the right kind of mud though?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll upset someone. So I intend on getting these because, and I'm glad I held off because I nearly pushed the button on because I want to do this Battle of Dunstable where the Lancastrians were fighting a butcher and his mates in Dunstable. So I thought these would do quite well to mix in with maybe some of the metals from Steel Fist, which are some more Steel Fist guys would look more like 15th century merchants and noblemen, and have these guys as the rabble. I thought it'd be cool. So yeah, I think these are great, and I kind of feel like the filth are generally overlooked, and these would be good for if you want to turnip them, wouldn't they? If you want the peasantry.
Well, I will be getting these because, like I said, I'm with these the foot knights. They're going to be used Warlords of Erewhon, and as part of the Knights Warband, you have retainers. You've got archers, spearmen, and swordsmen. And I picked up a box of the Oathmark Human Infantry, and they just don't scale well. They're so much more chunkier than the Wargames Atlantic, so I'm not going to use them. But then I saw these coming out. I thought these are absolutely ideal. So I'm going to be hanging fire on those until these come out.
So they said they were releasing 5 kits, didn't they? So we've had we've had these. We've had the Foot Knights. Here are the Sergeants, which I really like. And again, they're useful for a big chunk of time as well.
They are so similar. I mean, I know they were done by Mr. Hicks, that's probably why, but they're so similar to the footsore metals. They just look. I mean, I painted loads of them for the Bruce's project, and they just do almost the same sculpts. They're amazing. They are really, they followed Paul Hicks sculpts, didn't they? So this is the third set. So you got mounted. So you got Foot Knights, Foot Sergeants, Peasant Levy. Here's the preview of the Mounted Knights. So what do we think the 5th one is going to be? Because he said there were 5. He said there were going to be 5. Commanders? No, because you can use these guys probably. You can use them as
the Foot Knights. And Foot
Could
Knights
it be bowmen of some bowmen and crossbowmen?
Maybe bowmen and crossbowmen. There's bowmen in here. Yeah, and there's crossbowmen in there. There's crossbowmen in there.
Yeah, it's true. Is there enough?
As you say, I think here is also just an example. I think a bit like you said. I think you get loads. I think you could probably make these up, like most of them up as crossbowmen. I'm not sure.
Good guess by Eric. Mounted Sergeants.
Yeah. We did talk about that last week, didn't we? I just wondered if it'd be something a bit more left field, like the clergy, the clergy, yeah. Plastic clergy, No, I think it'd be. I mean, I can see these sets doing incredibly well. I do. This obviously kind of hits at the same time as Victrix are releasing their stuff. Victrix are releasing alternative heads at the minute to make them fantasy. Obviously, looking for
that was a really interesting move, wasn't it? I quite like that move, even though I won't use them. But I think that's a really clever idea.
Alternative, better looking Bretonians. But so that's I think Mounted Sergeant, I can neither confirm or deny it. Okay, well, we'll take that as a given then. Finally, for the Warhammer 30,000, 40,000 Horus Heresy players, there's a new book, and I like the books, as in the and I think this is all to do with the Mechanicum. So it's another Horus Heresy book, and it's all about the Martian Civil War, which Dom is very familiar with.
He's very into
I've been waiting for this.
But I really like that cover. I think that cover's ace. I do like the Mechanicum. I like the models. I'd like to paint them. I have no idea what they do or how they play. I just like them. I just think they look cool. But that was That's what I saw. So yeah, interesting things. War games. I'm really pleased that these War Games Atlantic kits are coming out quite rapidly, one after the other, and they haven't just thrown one out there and then they're going to leave people sort of standing. So what I'd like to see is maybe a starter set for the Barons Wars.
Oh yeah.
How are they going to keep this up? I mean, they are chucking out so much goodness. How are they going to keep this going?
Well, we have to buy them.
Well, yeah, okay, fair point. Yeah, fair point.
But I mean, of course, I was going through their digital files. They've released digital files that I haven't even seen them. They've stuck them in. Have you looked at them?
Oh, there are masses of them, and really nice figures, and very obscure periods and everything.
The digital range.
Yeah.
It's very there's some proper obscure stuff in there. There really is.
Nick Game says when he saw the peasant archers, I remember the scene from Braveheart where Edward Longshanks ordered his archers to shoot on his own men. Yes, evil, bad English. We will hit their men as well. I hate that film.
Me too.
I've watched that once, and it's got to be more than 20 years ago. I've never had an inkling to watch it ever again.
Fair.
I watched it, and when I was, how old was I? I was 11 when that came out, and I think I watched it when I was 11 as well. My mum didn't seem to have a problem with me watching stuff like Braveheart, and that I was allowed. That was great. But when I wanted to watch things like Jaws, it was like no. I mean, I loved it. I loved all the battles and that. And then I watched it when I was, I don't know, probably about like 20 or something. And I was starting to go, hang on a second. Where's the bridge? Where's the bloody bridge? But yeah, so anyway, there's lots of nice things coming out.
Yeah, those Barons War ones, I am very, very interested in when
it makes me happy I held off on doing my Barons War stuff. Because I got swamped by other things in the Barons War game. I've got the 15mm Barons War as in the mass battle one. That's still going. I still paint these little dudes up. They're always on the desk getting painted up. I've got loads of those now. I really am interested in those.
Yeah, well, having had these foot nights, I think I'm very tempted to get some of those because they're just so good. If they're going to be anywhere near as good, then fantastic.
No, I've really enjoyed it. That's a nice segue into the next part of the wish list. So, figures, kits. Is there anything out there that you think I really want someone to make it for me, please? I've got one, and it's just wish someone would do plastic multi-part fins for World War II.
Okay.
Because
does nobody do them? I find that amazing.
Ken 3D printed a bunch. Warlord have got a very small range of finished troops. There's quite a few articles on using existing Warlord kits.
This was going to be my question, and forgive my ignorance. Are their uniform? Oh God, I'm going to get flamed. Are their uniforms distinct enough that they can't easily be made from German?
Well, you could use the early war German, the Blitzkrieg box, the old, that can be used. There's a bit of green stuff and a bit of jiggery pokery with a craft knife. I think it was Andy Singleton may have done a article for Warlord. I could be wrong there. Apologies, Andy, if I've crazy you for something you didn't do. But there is an article on the Warlord Games website where they've used a mixture of the early war Blitzkrieg Germans and the Russian greatcoats, so they're the Winter Russians, but they're the ones with the separate arms and weapons, and I refuse to entertain separate arms and weapons because I just don't see the point I mean, yeah, it's an old kit, and hopefully Warlord have got something in the pipeline, because that Soviet kit it's older than God's dog. It's so old, and so's the Blitzkrieg one as well. That's really old. So they do need a new lease of life. That would be my thing. I'd having watched that the Unknown Soldier. Is it Unknown Soldier? That was quite inspirational and wanted to do a Finnish army. But actually, there's metals out there. But you know what I'm like. If I could have everything in plastic or wood, that's why those multi-part metals gave me chest pains. Just thinking about multi-part metal, I'm just not going to entertain. But no, that's me. For the most part, I think I'm quite happy with what is available out there. That's not to say I wouldn't do a metal army, because I mean, every time I go to the Great Escape Games website and they do those sort of minor nations, the full armies, the Greeks, the Danish. When you watches it the April 9th and you just want to do another, you just want to go and buy a Danish army. So there are options out there, but for me it'd be plastic multi-part thins. That's my ultimate hobby kit wish list.
I struggled with this. I did think long and hard about what it was, but I think, like you say, I'm kind of pretty happy. I think if it'd been last year or whenever it was, 18 months ago, I probably would have said something for the Boxer Rebellion, because I was hankered after doing that because they came out. And also I kind of like the idea of heading into that sort of Russo-Japanese war, but all the figures that are for Boxer, Japanese figures can all be used for that. And they got the early Russians out now as well. So early war Russians, which are close enough, I think, to be used for that as well. So that has kind of scratched that itch for me. I mean, I think one thing I would love to see is extension of the epic scale figures into something with Macedonian sort of a successor period, or that sort of thing would be absolutely amazing. And I would love to do that, because to do big battles of pikemen and elephants would be just brilliant. So, yeah. But no, I don't think there's much on. There is so much good stuff out there, and with 3D prints and with all things like that Victrix are pushing out, and the stuff that Wargames Atlantic are pushing out. There's just so much stuff coming through.
That's why I struggle.
Hard to keep up.
Again, it's. I mean, if it was 10 years ago, I mean, there'd be the wish list as long as my arm. But I think we're at a point now where there's companies
almost too much.
Companies seem to be. I mean, you get newsletters through. My God, what they're making. That now. It's just.
There's more stuff than you knew you needed.
Yes, no, I think there is. And when the willpower is low and someone's dangling a fresh box of plastic goodness under your nose, it's sometimes really difficult to.
Luckily, I have the willpower of a saint, and I can resist all this easily.
Really? let's dabble with the truth now. Then,
let me go and sniff something else for a bit.
I think the one box I've got that I think was. I bought it because of the rule. Remember I'm not going to talk about it. A War Transformed, and I bought a box of the Wargames Atlantic World War One, and I painted 3 of them. And I've never opened that box again, which is a shame because it's a lovely kit. But I've got no need to use it. But again, Wargames Atlantic do plastic World War One British, World War One French, World War One German. So that's something. 10 years ago, I can't imagine anyone would have been doing plastic World War One multi kits. And it just goes to show you, the availability and scope of what some companies are producing these days.
Yeah, it does. You probably just triggered Alex, but just the British. I know he gets very excited about the British box set.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with that.
He wasn't
impressed. He also got a free copy of A War Transformed.
He did. He loved that apparently.
Excellent doorstop. I really do give that game a kick. I apologize because I'm not a vindictive person. It just didn't agree with me. It's a bit like Haddock Scotch eggs. They just don't agree with me, and and those rules they just didn't. That was me being dragged onto the hype train. For absolutely no reason whatsoever.
I think fair point though, because they did sound promising. Even I looked.
They did.
Well, that sounds possible, and then luckily I didn't. I resisted those for once and didn't buy.
No, I've forgot mine. So, Martin, what about you? Anything that you think should be made?
Should be made. Okay, there's one thing in particular, which is I would like a company any company to make a new multi-part English Civil War 28mm set. There's one, and it's the old War Games factory, which is then bought by Warlord. It's very serviceable. It's dull as piss.
Yep.
It's very serviceable. And when you've done your first one, you're like, yay, it looks great. And then you do your next one, and you're like, okay, all right, okay. What can I do here? Hang on, they've got pikes, and it's really mono. But I would like to see someone like War Games Atlantic with all of these just do a multi-part set of pikemen. Again, you could do a box for pikes and a box for shot. Again, you could just make, like 5 boxes, and you would be able to service like the 30 Years' War and the English Civil War. I really do. I think the set that Warlord do are fine. The sculpts aren't like awful. I mean, there's some dodgy stuff going on with some of the shot with like belts that just kind of disappear into arms and things. The pikemen are all right. But yeah, I think there's room.
The problem is the variation on them, isn't it? It's very hard to do. Once you've done a couple of regiments, of them, they're all the same.
So, but that's the thing. Like, there's
it's quite an old kit, that isn't it? I bought that in 2009.
It's a war game. It was a War Games factory kit.
Yeah.
I think it was the first one that Warlord like released. I think so. Once they took it on, and I think it's like I said, I think it's serviceable. There's a few little extras on it, but something like War Game, like you were talking about all the extras, all the cool things that you could add. For the 30 Years' War and the English Civil War, and like all the different types of helmets, hats, and sashes. I think it would be a really good thing. You could have a cannon set, a pike set, a shot set, a cavalry set. Double up with the Warlord set, it'd be brilliant. If they do it for Napoleonics. There's plenty, and it is a big period to game.
It's odd, isn't it? Because it is very popular, so I don't understand.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously,
well, we asked. Paul says they weren't War Games Factory. I really thought they were.
Oh, I thought they were.
I really thought they were. I saw I swear they were. Okay. And then the other one I would really like 10mm plastic fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
Again, War Games Atlantic, but not in the GW style. I don't want like the cartoony orcs. I would like, the Paul Hicks sculpts that they're doing for this Hobdane Hicks, just like little scale. Okay, no, apparently it was an original Warlord range. Okay.
I thought like you. Yeah.
Well, in that case, then that's even less of an excuse.
Yeah.
So, no, I genuinely feel like they could act like, or someone could do it. And there'll be a lot of people interested, even people who've got current collections. I mean, all we got to do is convince Bloody Miniatures. He did say plastic was along with the War Games Factory sets for AWI, some Orcs, Samurai, Russians, and US World War II, and the skeletons.
Don't mention the skeletons. Don't mention
a realistic orc. I didn't say realistic. I just said not like the. Did I say realistic? I didn't say realistic. I just said not the big cartoony headed ones.
Steve's got a point. The AWI were War Games Factory.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm getting.
They were an odd kit. I bought those and didn't get along with them. I just don't know why. I just didn't. I think I painted 3 and then just gave up. Then I found out years later they're quite useful for turning.
Yeah, that would be mine really. Unless someone wants to make me multi-part plastic Trojan War figures. I mean, no whether to sell. I got another one actually. I'd like a plastic rocket set for the Anglo Zulu.
15 mil.
15 mil plastic.
15 mil. I take it.
Multi-part.
Please.
I think that one of the best things was for ages I'd wanted some proper classic undead cavalry. No, just skeletons, no ornate armor or anything like that. And then I remember getting up one day and checking War Games Atlantic were making them, and I was rather happy, and I did a little jig. And to be fair, that's a fantastic kit. You get the chariots and the cavalry in there. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant kit. Enjoyed every minute of building that.
Wargames Atlantic do Trojan War STLs.
Yeah, but there's not that much variety. I had a look at them. There's not a great variety at the minute. So I'll wait and hope that they add to it.
So I can't think of anything else. I'm trying to think of all the different sort of things that I'd like. I don't know.
No, it's tough, isn't it?
It is. I mean,
we are so lucky. I saw somebody commenting about having an army dear to my heart, a Swedish Napoleonic Leipzig army. I assume he meant in plastic because you can buy them in metal. But a number of manufacturers do them. But in plastic, I just think it's too niche. Not many people will want them in plastic. Just not going to work. Maybe some STLs, maybe somewhere. But...
Let's have a look at some of the starred comments. So Campbell Johnny, his wish list, 28mm World War II finish. Oh, great minds think alike. Or World War I Austrian plastic kits. Both make significant contributions to conflicts. You can only get them in metal or STL. Exactly. Couldn't agree more.
Actually, that'd be really interesting to do the World War I, wasn't it? The Austrians against the Italians in the Alps. That would be amazing.
Was that the Dolomites where they just blew the top off the mountain?
Pretty much, yeah. I think so.
They just blew. That was World War I, wasn't it? I've been there. It's it's mad when you see the scale of it.
So, Robin, I wish people would stop being silly about rules getting new editions. Okay.
I wonder what you're talking about there.
What are you talking about?
No idea. Dan, you wish you could go back in time and keep all the armies I sold off or gave away.
And that's why I never do it.
I don't. That's why I don't do it. Leon, you need to pressure Jervis into writing WEB version 3, start a campaign.
Yeah, no, that would be good. That would be good.
So Dice Dad, hi Andrew, good to see you, mate. Fantastic battles are nice. I keep meaning to pick that up for my 10mm fantasy, and I've not got around to buying it yet.
Robin lent it to me. It's a really interesting little set of rules, actually.
That's definitely on my list. Lionheart, I love a game like the Border Reavers and Flags of War, but about highwaymen and rival highwaymen. That'd be quite good, actually.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
All right, the next person to do an Adamant impression gets a Scotch egg.
Okay, Prince Charming, get on with
it. Dan says there's a fancy version of Hail Seas that's been written. It's called Stormwind or something like that.
Is that the one they kickstarted?
Yeah, I think it was, and then I think wasn't it pulled? I think Robin put in the comments that it was pulled. I wish to stop discovering amazing looking miniature lines and then discover no one makes them any longer, and they are therefore as rare as rocking horse shit. Yeah, I can certainly understand that. Here's one from Andy. A set of specialised rules as 1450 to 1715 in the Celtic Fringe.
Wow.
That
is niche. I like it.
That's niche.
I like that. I like the cut of his jib there.
Oh, Dom, that'd be right up your street. I can imagine if you got into that within about 4 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be another 500,000 miniatures.
Yeah.
Paul, you win a Scotch egg, mate. Do you want haddock or crab with it?
He's only just joined that. We won't understand what that's all about.
Lionheart's been waiting for plastic boars for his colonial project.
Oh, boars! A plastic set, just a single box. What games like a plastic set of boars would be awesome because you think of all the variety.
And you could use them they'd be very good for converting, wouldn't they? For a lot of other periods.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Major Clanger, 20mm Russian Cold War infantry support weapons, plastic sets. Does anyone? I mean, I know.
We'll get the Plastic Soldier Company.
They do 20mm plastics. I've got the late war Germans. Another one, 28mm Army of the North.
Oh, there we go. It was Major Clanger. Yeah. So you can get them 28mm, loads of them, but I'm not sure you can get them. Plastic maybe is what he means.
Mobile and Hostile, we love Victrix, do 30 Years War.
Yeah. So, saying 30 Years War, ECW.
James, so plastic Prussian Landwehr cavalry. It's criminal. You can only get them in metal.
No one cares about land, James.
Can't you get? Yeah, nobody cares about Prussians, but can't you get? You can get them as Warlord plastic, can't you? Warlord resin jobbies, can't they? Pretty sure you can.
I feel like you've asked and answered your question in one go there.
Yeah,
I think I have to.
Andy, my wish list would be 75% of existing ranges have much better horse slopes.
Yeah, a lot of them use the ones that no one likes, the generic.
Yeah,
is it Ebo or something?
Yeah, I agree. I've got one for you, Dom. Patchwork pictures. It's jumping ahead. Plastic Mongols.
Yeah,
you wanted to do a Mongol.
I did. I would love to do that.
What if Warlord did epic Genghis?
Oh, I would have a complete meltdown. I would be so moist; it would be unbelievable. It won't happen, but yeah, that would be a beautiful thing.
Paul,
actually, it would work beautifully on a big table as well, wouldn't it? Sorry, you got me thinking now. Oh, jeez.
So Paul, Plastic 7 Years War are a decent set of War of Spanish Succession troops.
Mm-hmm. Good choice.
I tell you what, Andy's been flying through his wish list tonight. Dismounted 17th century Polish hussars.
Ooh. Did they ever dismount?
I feel like you're opening a can of worms, Oscar.
I don't know. He knows more about that period than I will ever know, so I trust him.
Eric wants a magical device to upscale many thousand 25mm Old Glory metal figures to all wonderful 28mm plastics available now. Yeah, I can certainly see that.
So here's a question. So if you ever did have a situation where you had a whole range of, say, Old Glory 25mm, you're happy with it, nice army, and then suddenly someone brings them out in plastic, would you start again? I know I wouldn't. But I don't know, would people start again?
I mean, given how averse I am to owning and painting metal miniatures, the chance of me owning something like that, zero. But no, I know what you mean. I mean, if you've spent years and years painting hundreds upon hundreds of 25mm figures, then they're releasing 28mm plastic. I don't know. Interesting one.
Yeah.
So is this as well. Rogue Trooper surprised Martin did not want some better 6mm samurai.
He's saving himself for the 10mm. It's fine.
Right, so those 10mm, right? I did sit there and go, they look really nice, and then I just jumped off the page before it.
And then did you get Haley to slap you very hard?
I don't have to get her to do that. No. For me, I'm happy with my Samurai Wargaming at the 28mm, where you can see all the fancy armor and just do Test of Honor, 7 Samurai style stuff. I'm happy with that, it being represented that way. But I'm looking forward to seeing what people do with the grand.
We'll put that one down as a maybe then.
I'll tell you what. I bet no one had this on their wish list apart from Andrew. He wants to see someone produce minis representing the factions from Flash Gordon.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Can we have the flying monkeys? That'd be great.
That's
flying monkeys. That's Wizard of
Oz.
Oz. You mean the Hawkmen?
Oh,
you mean Brian Blessed?
Brian Blessed, isn't it?
I'm crossing the streams, aren't I? Yeah, you're right.
Flash Gordon versus the Wizard of Oz.
Lion.
A crossover we never knew we needed.
The war game starter box we didn't think would ever be released.
Dorothy versus Ming. with a Queen soundtrack. Queen.
You see, it's got something. It's good.
Oh my god! What?
Right, I sent a Kickstarter in the very near future.
The Tin Man takes on oh god, what was Timothy Dalton's character? Prince. Oh god!
It's been ages. I watched Flash Gordon about 2 years ago. I can't remember.
I mean,
I think that was the same night I watched The Dark Crystal followed by Flash Gordon.
Have you watched the Dark Crystal series as well? That really
no.
The Dark Crystal, I rewatched it when I was growing up. I can't believe my parents let me watch this when I was so young. And it explains a lot.
Do you know there's a I don't know whether it's still on, but there was a YouTube channel that was doing episodes of Terror Hawks on loop.
Oh my goodness!
I forgot just how weird that show was. It was absolutely bizarre. Andrew, so yeah, Forbidden Star: The Last War, it's a good war, but yeah, I know people have I think Paul's into Forbidden Psalm. I know he's recommended it a few times. Yeah, I was. I'm not going to mention it again, but yeah, I was very, very disappointed, and I've not been hyped since. I don't board the hype train any longer. I like to. Yeah,
but it was nice because you were representing Ken, because he doesn't. Obviously, he's not here to do the FOMO hype train thing.
I don't know. I will tell you what, it's one of the quickest things I've ever had delivered by Amazon. I ordered it about 7 o'clock Friday night, and it arrived 10 o'clock Saturday morning. Just mad delivery times. Or moot in the end, because there it's now gathering dust on my bookshelf. Yeah. And who collected the Flash Gordon card that came with Weetabix?
I don't remember that.
What other franchises could you have? Like Flash Gordon versus the Wizard of Oz. What else could you have? Willy Wonka. He could turn up and he could get Willy Wonka and all the Oompa Loompas as his little minions.
Okay. The Terminator versus Johnny Five from Short Circuit.
I'd be that. Just can't.
Love it.
Oh man,
that's a strange one.
Flying monkeys versus Horwin. Dom, you're a genius.
Yes, I don't know what you've stumbled upon here, Dom, but you should be credited.
Well, if Paul's still watching and you're ever bored and you want to sculpt something else, could you sculpt us up some Hawkmen fighting the flying monkeys from the Wizard of Oz, please? There's 140 people watching, or I'm pretty sure we'll buy it.
Honestly, we will.
I think I would.
And if they don't, Dom will have to, because it's his fault.
He planted the seed. It was all Dom. Dom's the genesis. RoboCop. Yes, RoboCop versus Johnny Five from Short Circuit.
I had a RoboCop versus Terminator versus Alien comic.
Trumpton versus Chorlton.
Trumpton versus
Chorlton and the Wheels.
What about what about like the Clangers versus the Wombles or something like that? You could have
no, the Clangers versus Moomins.
How is it? The Moomins just send you to sleep. My kids watch the latest edition of Moomins. It's great, but I've never made it for an episode because it's just so sort of
yeah. Oh, genuinely.
Weebles against Moomins.
This really went.
Yeah, this is not the way we're expecting the stream to go tonight.
We've hit some tangents tonight, haven't we? Robbie Williams, recipes for Scotch eggs, franchises beating the crap out of each other. It's been a strange one. Right. Then we went to some viewers' photographs and bring a bit of normalcy. The Hartley Hare versus the Transformers. What?
What about? Do you remember Bucky O'Hare?
Bucky O'Hare, yeah.
Bucky O'Hare versus Bugs.
I don't remember that one.
Bucky O'Hare. Would have been about 1990. Bucky O'Hare with was it Dead-Eyed Duck? The guy.
The four-armed duck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dora the Explorer against Danger Mouse.
Danger Mouse would be amazing.
Sorry, carry on with this viewers' pictures.
Right. Before we move on to that, big thanks to everyone for their input there. I was really interested to see what I think Andy wins the prize for the most niche wish list.
Definitely.
Some of those were I don't think they'll be we'll be on the horizon. Nurgle Moomins. That just sounds absolutely horrifying.
That sounds like some of the weird shit you guys put up on the screen in the news occasionally.
Oh my word! Right. Oh my God, Mary Mungo and Midge. This is taking me back to my childhood. Right, onto some photographs. No one remember Mary Mungo and Midge.
Oh dear.
Right, let's just onto some weird toy soldiers now. Right, starting off with these are fantastic. These are what Space Marines should look like that. Look at those.
Oh wow. And they edge highlighted on it.
I know, just stunning.
They are lovely.
Holy moly, they're good.
So if you want to check out Dave's Instagram, Dave Paints Minis. Some excellent work on there. But I
like it when an Instagram or a channel just does what it says on the tin. I really like that.
No messing around with Dave. Dave Paints Minis. But no, I even like the shade of the armor. It's not too in your face. It's just.
Is that the correct blue for you.
It is. That would be the correct blue. The only thing I would do is if I was to resculpt those, it'd be to get rid of those skulls on the chest plates. And apart from that,
they're lovely.
They're lovely. Really good work on those, Dave. Up next, been Napoleonic. These. You know, I say Napoleonic. The painting Napoleonic gives me chest pains. Look at those.
Oh
wow! Oh, is that Martin?
That's Martin.
Oh, jeez, they're
and
lovely.
Highlanders.
They're Victrix ones as well.
Yeah.
Jeez.
God. And I have still, after doing my Highlanders, never ever felt the urge to do any more. And sold the other 3 boxes I bought.
And a drummer, you madman.
Lovely.
No,
wowza.
I'm not getting involved in idiocy like that. No, they're fantastic. Absolutely, really, really good. I was going. If you wanted to see more, he posts them on a Facebook group, and he's all different angles. Check them out. They're just insanely good. Frank's up next with some Vikings.
Oh, that's
nice. Like that a lot.
He looks like an angry chap, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks like he's he means business.
Yeah, with an axe.
Mm.
Brilliant. World War II now with Neil, and he's been working on his US Rangers. Now, I do like this kit. I think he's been experimenting with different schemes, but I think he's got that spot on. They look really good.
They were really nice.
Very nice.
That Rangers kit looks fantastic. I'm not talking football here. Well, if Ian's watching that, I didn't mean that in a anti-football kind of way.
I meant a US.
No, it didn't. I meant a US Rangers kit. No, so I've looked at that several times. I just can't. I can't bring myself to invest at the moment. Paul has been playing some epic ACW. Now this is inspirational. Just look at that.
That's very cool.
That is brilliant.
Cool.
That's what you want right there. Zouaves are plenty as well.
Superb.
Oh, so it's got me itching to start painting some of my epic ACW again, because I'm really close to having enough to have a small game of black powder. But that's really, really inspirational. Up next is Philip with some Numidians.
Oh, cool.
Oh, those are nice. Like that.
They're lovely, aren't they?
Yeah.
Who makes them?
I don't know. They look like they are
Victrix,
warlords. Oh no, there could be Victrix. Yes, you could well be right. Victrix.
Pretty nice. Now, I love this. This is the best thing that's been posted all week. From Shell Shock Scenics, it's look at
that.
Oh my goodness.
That's got it all. It's got tufts, he's got a plague mask, and he's got stilts. What more could you want from Turnip 28?
Oh, hang on. Fresh in from Mr. Hicks. News report. Went back in time, rewound the live stream. It's Defo Mountain Sergeants.
Good call.
And yes, the Hawkmen.
Yes,
which is the
Hawkmen. Brilliant. That's made my week. That.
There we go. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for confirming that.
But yeah, that just looks so cool. I do like a bit of Turn 28 on stilts. These are brilliant. Jobs. Again, more Space Marines from Stephen for those Death Guard. Oh,
that's cool.
See,
that's also what I like. I like Death Guard that aren't necessarily all falling apart. I like I think they look ace. I love that Power Fist.
Awesome.
That
the shade he's used on that armor though is fantastic. Again, they look gunged, but without looking too plague ridden.
If Dom was going to fall to one of the Chaos Gods, which one do you think it would be?
I
think he's got a lot of pent up rage, so I think it would be Khorne.
Yeah, Khorne.
Pent up rage?
Well, it's just when you go to stick together, like
true. Like, yes. Fair enough.
Although the amount of times that he tells people he's moist, I'm definitely veering towards Slanesh.
Oh yeah. No one wants a slippery Dom.
No. Up next is Tony
slippery Dom
with some Brunswick artillery.
Sorry, carry on.
Actually, no. Up next is Sam with his.
Oh wow!
Are they British?
Nice.
They are British. Yes.
Hey,
British
I
foot
got
artillery.
I
You're
got
getting there.
something
You're getting
right.
it. Well done. Yay.
Yay. Up next is Tony with some Brunswick artillery.
I like them. I like them a lot.
Yeah, I think I could paint them. There's no erroneous or excessive use of white straps.
Lovely.
Nope. It's all black, but I do like the fact he's got those brassy buttons.
Yes,
really nicely. Because that's quite tricky to do on an all black figure.
Yeah, I can imagine. And last but not least is Warren with this giant.
What the heebie-jeebies is that?
So he's going to be using that along with his.
Looks like Flea from the Chili Peppers.
Bloody hell! Look at that.
So that's going to be used for his. It's a 15mm fantasy Greek army. The actual giant, I think he's 10 centimeters tall. I think he said that this 10 centimeters tall. But he's massive anyway.
That is awesome.
It is a good figure.
Awesome.
And there we go. That's all from the
True, mate. True, mate. There was definitely a lot of rage got rid of last week.
Dom, that's enchanting. Thank you for sharing that.
Rogue put it up there. I don't know. What can I say?
Conjuring up that lovely mental image for us. Well, there we go. We're at 1 minute past 10, so we're officially in overtime. Big thanks to everyone who showed up and gave us their wish list. Like I said, I think Andy wins the competition for a wish list that he may be waiting a few years for it to be made. We've also managed to discuss, everything really.
I mean, I know we had the awesome sort of matchups, but I think the original Flash Gordon versus the Wizard of Oz is definitely something I need to see in my life.
That needs to happen. Before we go, big thanks to everyone that's watching on the catch up. Always appreciate that. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, do all the stuff.
The shill stuff.
Don't forget we are sponsored by Boards and Swords. Use the code PCP5 when you're on the web store for an additional 5% off your order of goodness. Who's next? What's up next?
Me next week. Yeah, back on my channel next week. And we're going to be looking at rule systems and whether it's possible to be all things to all men. Rules.
Does it come with a complimentary flak jacket?
Probably. Yeah, probably. And if you want to bring your Scotch egg recipes along to that, then please do. But be warned, there'll be red cards for anybody who does talk about fish-based ones.
Fish-based Scotch egg.
Not allowed.
Oh lordy! Right, it's time for us to scoot. Again, thanks everyone for joining us tonight. We're back next week on Dom's channel. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, wander across, answer Dom's questions 3, and you should be admitted. But apart from that, enjoy your hobby week, and we shall catch you all next Monday. So take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Have a good week.
Bye. Bye-bye.